Your data is like gold to hackers, and they'll sell it to the highest bidder. Are you protected? McAfee helps shield you, blocking suspicious texts, malicious emails, and fraudulent websites. McAfee Secure VPN lets you browse safely, and its AI-powered text scam detector spots threats instantly. You'll also get up to $2 million of award-winning antivirus and identity theft protection, all for just $39.99 for your first year. Visit McAfee.com. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
So today we're going to talk about risk management. We're going to do so from two different perspectives. One, risk management from a psychological perspective, talking about how to remove yourself from dangerous situations where you may be putting yourself unknowingly sometimes at a greater chance at self-sabotage. And then risk management from a monetary perspective and kind of the get rich quickness and the need for a massive amount of money right away. So hope you guys enjoy. By the way, today's footage comes from, or today's audio, I guess, comes from one of our live trading room sessions over at tier1trading.com. If you ever want to join, feel free to hop in. We do both a London and a New York session 3 times a week. Just head over to www.tier1trading.com and hop in. So we're going to skip over that. Hopefully I get a second chance. It hit targets, just did not fill. Spread didn't trigger. So we'll push past that because I don't like watching trades that I'm in. It frustrates me. I'm sure you guys can understand. From a trading psychology perspective as well, that is something that I notice about myself. We always talk about tracking your psychological notes. Do any of you guys do that? Do any of you guys track your psychological notes? How you feel? What you were thinking when you entered a trade? So, Cherry, tell me, how did you feel when you entered the euro dollar? And how did that make you feel? I feel like I'm sitting on the couch. So, Cody, tell me about that most recent loss. Well, Keel, market came 1 pip before stops, or 1 pip before targets, then turned around and reversed and hit my stop loss. And how did that make you feel? How do you think it made me feel? How do you think? And flips the table over. It made me feel bad. Did you feel bad because you lost money? Or did you feel bad because you were wrong on the trade? I guess I felt sad because maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. That's trading psychology. But yeah, something I noticed with me, a lot of my mistakes came from watching trades. Right? Where a lot of the times I would do my, early target taking, moving stops back, some of that stuff would come because I was actively watching trades and I was just sitting there getting frustrated. So I'd watch it tick up and they'd get excited. I'd tick down, I'd get mad. It would go up, I'd get excited. I'd go down and get mad. I was on this emotional roller coaster of just kind of up and down being yo-yoed, again, like Wimbledon across the court. I'm the tennis ball getting hit back and forth on these emotional pulls until I would eventually have enough, right? I would want to remove, like anyone. If you're in a situation where you're getting emotionally tugged, eventually the way out of it is to remove yourself from the situation. Unfortunately, I would remove myself from the situation by removing myself from the trade. Like that was my way out. So I was able to catch that. And now the way to remove myself from the situation isn't to remove myself from the trade per se, but it's to remove myself from looking at the trade. Does that make sense? It's interesting because I'm still doing the same act. I am removing myself from a bad situation. But the question is, how are you removing yourself from it? Because you have two choices. You're removing yourself in a positive way or you're removing yourself in a negative way, right? It's the same thing we talk about tools in a toolbox. I've got this big old toolbox in my garage, right? But if I don't know how to use the tools correctly, then I can cause myself a lot of trouble. Just ask my wife. Whenever I try to do something around the house, I make it worse. She often tells me it would be cheaper if you didn't try to fix it. Like we'll have like, babe, I'm gonna do the stairs. She said, we're gonna like, how about we just pay this person? I'm like, no. I said, no, I don't want to waste money paying that person. She pulls me to the side. She said, it's gonna cost more money if you try and you mess it up more. I'm like, you don't have any confidence in me? And then she laughs. And I've always assumed that meant she does, but maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe she doesn't have confidence in me. She's like, ha ha ha. Now that I think about it with some perspective, it was one of those sarcastic laughs, and then we always end up paying the person. Huh. Anyway, you can have a big old toolbox and not know how to use it. You can make your situation worse, or you can have a toolbox and you can make a situation better. Wife just took all her confidence. Yeah. That would be a good if we want to go viral on TikTok or something like that. We should do a series like that with our wives kind of just taking our confidence. Like I come out from like fixing the car or something. I've got like a greasy towel, whatever like that. Hands are dirty. I come in feeling all good about myself, and then she says something, and then boom, confidence gone. Then we can create a drug and sell it to them. Are you lacking confidence, man, and you want to feel more like a man again? Take this pill. And then do the whole thing with like, you ramble off all the side effects really, really slowly. The pill may cause. Right? And then we sell you another pill to get rid of the side effects of those pills. Stuff like that always bothers me. I laugh whenever I see these commercials where they sell you this like, do you have a stuffy nose? I'm like, yeah, I do got a stuffy nose. And they give me this pill to get rid of my stuffy nose. And I pay really close attention to the small print. I've learned in contract negotiations over the years that if you don't pay attention to the small print, you can get into a lot of trouble. By the way, if you haven't seen, if you guys are Black Mirror fans on Netflix, there's a new season that came out. And the first one is, what is it? Is it Lucy? Jane is awful. That'll teach you to read the fine print if you haven't done so already. Joan is awful. There we go. But you read these things and it's like, this pill will get rid of the sniffles. And then it tells you, it causes you like, you'll be at high risk of a heart attack. Right? It will literally say like, side effects may include higher risk of heart attack. So it's like, this is where the risk reward brain comes in. Is it really worth getting rid of these sniffles if it can cause me higher risk of a heart attack? No. And then you take the heart attack pill where it's like, hey, are you at high risk of a heart attack? Take this pill. And then it causes you the sniffles. So you keep going back and forth between all these pills and they know what they're doing. Big pharma. They know what they're doing. But I always found that amusing. Hopefully none of you guys are ordering those pills. But like they literally say stuff like that. Where the side effects are something worse than what it will actually cure. And I'm like, are people buying this stuff? And the answer is yes, right? We know in the trading world, with all the people that fall for the scams, we know people are because people want the shortcut. So I'm like, hey, man, like, dude, it said you might have a heart attack. Yeah, I know, but look. Breathing clear, Keel. Yeah, but heart attack. You only live once. YOLO. What? But a heart... okay. People will take that quick fix. I had this very same conversation with a guy the other day. He was talking about risk management, and he was like, Akil, is it possible to make like 6,000% a year? And my answer is like, well, yeah, I don't ever want to tell someone that something is impossible, but like I think it was like 600% a year or something like that, and I was like, it's possible. Yes, you can certainly do so. I said, but most likely, in order to do so, you would have to have like an insanely high. You either have to be really, 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 really good at trading, or have a very high risk type of appetite, where you're risking 10% of your account to get that win, and you're knocking off 10% of the time on your wins, and somehow not taking losses, right? Because 600% is big, right? The point is to make 50% a month, right? you've got to have you got to be either super good or some incredibly high risk. And it's doable if you're hot. You get on a hot streak at the right time. But the problem is, like, once you hit that cold streak, you're not going to be able to absorb it, right? The key in trading, right? The key in trading is that it is proper risk management. We put ourselves in position where we can make money and we take advantage of our hot streaks, but then we survive the cold streaks. We don't get taken out. We get little dips in our equity curves and we tread water until that next boat comes that pulls us to new equity highs. The problem with shooting for that high risk is that during the hot streaks, things are great. We're latching onto that speedboat and going a million miles per hour. The problem is when we disconnect, and we all know a drawdown is eventually going to come. I don't care how good you are. I don't care what strategy you trade. Everyone loses. I read a book to my kids when they were younger called Everyone Poops, to make them feel more comfortable. I'm going to write a book for trading called Everyone Loses, to make you feel more comfortable. That's actually a really good idea. I'm going to delete, if this becomes a podcast episode, I'm going to delete that section from the podcast. That way no one steals it. Greystone's probably already on it. He's probably in the room right now like, you know what? I'll get my people on it. Now he's a famous author. I'm sitting back. Where'd you get that idea from, Jason? It just came to me. Just came to me. Out of nowhere. But the thing is, when that drawdown comes, because everyone loses, you're going to blow your account. And everything that you earned up to that point is going to be taken away. So is the risk worth it? Is the instant gratification, the feel goodness of this moment, is that sustainable? And the answer is always no, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So it's like these shortcuts, we got to avoid these shortcuts. Just strap up your boots and get ready for a bumpy road. Get ready for a bumpy road. And there's all types of glory and goodness on the other side of it. But if you try to take that shortcut and make it quicker, you're just going to fall off the cliff. I promise you. I've done it before. I've seen it before. I see it every day. Just accept the suck. Accept the suck and know that's going to bring success at the end of it. It's the best I can say. Before you go, do me a favor. I'd love to hear your story. If you have any tips or tactics on how you personally deal with risk management from both a psychological perspective of keeping calm in the markets or from a financial perspective, maybe a story about how you went from having a mindset that was thinking I can get this out of trading and maybe how it shifted over time, let me know. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a Q&A right under this podcast that you can use to type it in. YouTube, use the comment section below. And if you're listening on another source, just hit me up on social media at Akil Stokes RTM. Share your story. That way I can share it with other traders. All right. I'll see you next episode. Until then, plan your trade, trade your plan. Take care.